Hello, good morning all. Today in this video we are going to discuss regarding how to add a computed field in Odoo version 15. So currently in the screen you are seeing Odoo version 15 community edition where we are continuing our Odoo 15 development tutorials. So if I open existing patients, so here you can see we have the patients, and if I open any of the patients, here you can see we already have added a field for age. So what we will be doing in this video is we will be adding a date field in this model to record date of birth of the patient, and we will compute the age of the patient from the provided date of birth. So let's see how we can do that. So what we will be doing is simply I'll add a new date field to capture or to record the age of the to record the date of birth of the patient, and we will change this field as a computed field which will compute the value from the entered date of birth. So first of all we have to add a date field. So I'll go to the PyCharm. Here we have the OM hospital module, and inside the models folder you can see patient.py file, and here we have our model hospital.patient. So what I'll do is that I will add a new field. I'll name it as date of birth, or you can put DOB, anything you can like. I'll put date of birth fields dot, it should be of type date, and I'll put string as date of birth. Date of birth. Simply I have added a date field. Now I'll copy this field and I have to add it inside the patient view. So I'll go to the patient view.xml, and here we have the form view of the patient, and before the age, so here I have the age field, control D, and I'll put it as date of birth. So what I have done is I have added a date field in the model and added the same in the corresponding form view. So we will just restart the service and we will upgrade Odoo hospital management module. So you can see the module is getting upgraded, and if I try to create a new patient, you can see we have date of birth field which is a date field. So what we have to do, we have to compute. Suppose if I choose over here, that is if I choose date as 2000 January 1, it has to automatically compute the age as 22 because it's 2022. So let's see how we can do that. So first of all I'll go to the PyCharm and to the corresponding model, and here we have the age field. So we have to change it as a computed field. So right now it's a normal field where user manually enters the field. So right now we are going to change it as a computed field. So right now you can see it's editable, we can enter as we need, but upon making it as a computed field. So let's see how we will make or how we will turn this normal field into a computed field. So for that you have to add compute equal to like this, compute equal to, then you have to specify compute method name, that is a function name. So just either you have to put compute equal to, then you have to specify the function name that has to compute the value. So I'll name the field as compute. What we have to compute, we have to compute age. So I'll name it as compute age. So simply I have added a compute key equal to a name. Now we have to define a function with this name inside this model. So we will be seeing about how to define a function. So it's simple. We are defining a function inside this model. Diff, the syntax of defining a function, then function name, then self. In the self, you can see like that you have to specify. Then what you have to do, write your code here. So this is how simple we can define a computed field in Odoo. Simply along the field definition, add compute equal to, specify the function name, then you have to define this function. Now we will add our logic inside this function to compute the age from date of birth. So for that, what we will be doing is that we will search in the Google. If you go to the Google, you can see a sample. So simply I have searched in Stack Overflow to get age from birth date in Python, and I have received this code. So simply I'll copy this code and I will put it here. So here you can see a package is importing. So don't worry, I'll be explaining it from datetime import date. And let me copy this first and I'll explain it for you. Copy, then I'll put it over here. Date for today, self dot age equal to. So I'll put like this. So date for today, let me make some adjustment. Let me make some adjustment. Dot one. So I have made some few adjustment in the given get the function. So we have, first of all, we have imported from datetime. It is a Python package. So from datetime I have imported date. So this is a commonly used package in Odoo. So if I copy this, and if you search inside the Odoo source code, find in path, and if you search inside Odoo code, you can see this function has been used inside Odoo. This Python package is commonly used in Odoo. So don't worry about using this package. So from datetime, we have imported date. Then using date dot today. So date dot today will give us the current date. So if you print today, if I print that variable today, you can see you will be getting today's date. Then we will be subtracting. We will subtract today's year with the year of date of birth. So let me remove all these codes. Simply we can keep it as much as simple. So today, then self dot date of birth. So I'm just printing. So once I add print, it will be printing over here. So let me show you what we get from this comma. So let's see what we get now. So before that, let me add one more condition. If self dot date of birth, don't get confused, I'll explain it very clearly. So else self dot is equal to 0. So simply I have done like this. I have defined a function. Now just I will try to restart the service, and let's try to upgrade the OM hospital module and see what happens. So I'll go to the apps menu and I will try to upgrade OM hospital module, and here we are receiving an error. So you can click on see details, and you can see we have an error, unsearchable field age in path filter. So you can see we already have added this age field inside the search view. So this is our patient search, and we have already used this field in a search view like a filter. So right now, as it is a computed field, we cannot use it inside the search view. So I'll explain that. So you can comment this for now, that is, we cannot use a non-stored computed field in the search view. So I have just commented that, and let me try to upgrade the module again. So I'll try to upgrade the module again. So you can see the module has been successfully upgraded. Now what I'll do, you can see you have an error again, expected singleton. So you can see expected singleton error. So in your Odoo development period, you will see this error message a lot of times, because once you define here, if you try to print self, so here inside self you will have multiple records. So if you print the self, just see what you are receiving inside self. Just let me refresh. If you check here, you can see self contain this much records, hospital patient of, that is, this is one record, first record, this is another record. So we have to iterate it over a for loop. We have to take one by one for rec in self. We are just iterating over a for loop. Then you have to put some indentation. then replace self with rec, just like this. So just replaced all the self with iterating over a for loop. Now we will see. So I have just restarted the service, and now if I try to access, you will not get the singleton error. So if I remove the filter, you can see there is no error, bool object. So yeah, you have to control X, you have to put it over inside this. Don't worry, I'll explain you. And if you open again, still you have error, I think. Let me remove these codes, and let me refresh. Yeah, I have opened a record called pineapple. So you can see we have this much records here, and you can see pineapple date of birth is empty and age is coming as 0. So right now you can see age has become non-editable. It is a computer, it will not be accepting a manual entry. Now what I will do, I'll select a date over here. Suppose the coming patient is on 2010 January 28, and I click on save. You can see the age has been computing automatically. The date is 2010 and this is 2022, so the difference is 12. What happens if I change to 2009? Age will be 13. Sorry, I didn't select the date 2009. I'll put June, and if I click on save, you can see 13 is coming. Similarly, if you put 2004, age will 18, and if you put 1994, to save, you can see age is 28. Similarly, the value will be getting computed. So what I will show you, so what we have done here is that we have, first of all, we have imported this Python package from datetime import date and today. So this is our compute function, and we are iterating self over a for loop in order to avoid singleton error in Odoo. So I have already built a video in Odoo 14 explaining the singleton error in detail. So you can just have a look at that video to understand the singleton error in Odoo. So I'll add it in the video description section. And here I'll be adding date.today. So we will see what we have in date.today. So print, if I print this date.today, let's see what we can get. So date.today, just I need to trigger it again. So I have to change the value 1997. You can see date dot today is returning 2022 3/23. That is today's date, it is returning. And if I call today, so today, the variable today, we are setting this value, and today dot year. So if I print this today dot year, it will return as 2023. 2023. So let me trigger the function. So right now we have to manually change. On changing only, the compute function will be getting triggered now. So 1991, on save, the function will be triggered, and you can see today.year is returning 2022. Now rec dot date of birth. So rec is self, we are iterating one record. Then we can access any fields, rec dot name, rec dot date of birth, anything we can access. So if I print rec here, let me show you. If you print rec and rec dot name or rec dot date of birth, you will get those field values. Rec will be our record, rec dot name will print patient name, and rec dot date of birth will print date of birth of the patient. So I'll come to the UI and I'll trigger the function again. 1985, 1985, and I click on save. And if you check the log, you can see this is our record, hospital patient of 1, name is pineapple, and date of birth you can see 1985 0609. The value that we have entered here 09 06 1985, 09 06 1985. And what we are doing, today dot year minus rec dot date of birth dot year, then we will be getting the age. So you can see, let me minus these two and print it. Print age equal to this one. So let's see what we are getting in the log section. So I'll go to the UI and let me trigger it again. I'll change to 1947. Click on save, and you can see 1947 record date of birth dot year, and you can see age is coming as 75. So on doing this operation, we will be getting the age, and I am assigning it to this variable. Rec is our record, dot age is our field name. So to that field I am assigning that difference. So that's what we have done here. So I hope you understood. And the thing that you have to take care is, if you are defining a compute function, you must set the else condition. So if you remove this else condition, you will be getting a error message. So if I just restart, and if I try to upgrade, I'll go to the apps menu and I'll just upgrade. I think the upgrade is not needed, but still I'll just upgrade. And if I try to open any of the record, you can see compute method failed to assign hospital.patient to. That is, it says system is not able to assign a value for age field, because it will check whether record has date of birth. Currently, I think the same will not happen with our pineapple record, because we set already that date of birth. For some record, there is no date of birth, so system cannot get inside the if statement. That is because the record doesn't have date of birth. So in else condition, we have to put rec dot age as 0, or you can put rec dot age as 1 accordingly. So if I just add else statement, you can see that error will get disappeared. So let me restart, and you can see right now that error message is not coming. So this is how you can define a compute field in Odoo. And regarding this error message, so initially we have commented this, because once you define a compute field, it will not store in the database. So right now, if you check at the Postgres level, if you open this table, so I'll show you. So let me, where is my terminal? So here I have my terminal. So sudo su postgres. So I'll just log into the Postgres, and I have to enter my password. So you can see I have logged into the Postgres. Now, which is my database? It's DevDB. So PSQL, and I'll connect to DevDB. You can see you are now connected to DevDB as Postgres. And then I'll do select star from. We are selecting from this model, hospital.patient. Hospital.patient. And if you run this, you can see what all fields we have: ID, name, and age. It will be show here because initially we have added, that's why still it is over here. So if you, what I can say, if you uninstall and install again, you will not find this. So let me show you. So let me go to the apps menu and uninstall, confirm. So we are just uninstalling the module. So the module has been uninstalled, and control C. And if you try to access it again, DB, select star from, hospital, patient. You can see relation hospital patient does not exist because we have uninstalled that module. Now what I'll do, I'll just install the module again, hospital management. So I have just installed the module again, and if I try to access that DB again, select star from hospital patient, which is our field name, table name. You can see what all fields we have. We have ID, message main, that is coming from the inherited model. We have name, name field is there. We have date of birth. Date of birth is there. Rough is there, but you can see age is not over here. You can see in the database level, the age field has been not created, because if it is a non-stored computed field, it will not create a column in Postgres level. Here you will see ID, name, date of birth, rough, gender, everything you will find, but the computed field will not be there in the database table. So non-stored, that is, this is a non-stored computed field, and if I need to add it in the database, you can add store equal to true. So right now I'll not do that, I'll explain it in the later video. So this is a non-stored computed field. This will not add a column inside database, and it will be computed on the fly. So that's why we are not able to use it inside the search view. So we have added that. Then what we have done, so let me go back here. Then what else I need to discuss? Compute age successfully done. Okay, then one more point is there to discuss. So you can see, if I try to create a new patient, Odoo mates, I'll try to create a new patient. Upon selecting the date of birth, like if I select 2016 January 5, on selecting the value is null, age is null, but it get computed on saving. Just assume where you have to compute whenever you select date itself. So if I change to 2014, on the same time you have to get the age. So for that, what you have to do is that you have to add, there is one decorator for the computed field, at API depends. You have to add like at API depends. This is a syntax, and this computed field is depending on this field. Then put it like this. So I'm saying whenever there is a change in this field, my function has to be executed at API depends. So initially the function was computing on saving. Right now I have added this decorator. So we will see the difference. So I'll go to the UI and I'll upgrade the OM hospital module. So you can see the module is getting upgraded. Now if I try to create a new patient, that is Odoo mates, and you can see age is 1, and what if I choose date as 2012 June 10, you can see age is 10, and if I change to 2010, age is 12. What if I change to 2005, you can see 17. On changing, it get computed. So that is the working of that depends decorator. So if you have multiple fields, you can put comma, field name, like that you can put multiple fields. So this is how simple you can define a computed field in Odoo. So along with the field name, put compute equal to then a function name, then you have to define a function. So once you define compute field, underscore compute field name. So that is the common practice how you have to define a function. Then inside this, don't forget to iterate over a for loop in order to avoid singleton error. So I hope you understood this video. If you have any doubts, feedbacks or suggestions, don't hesitate to contact us over the email, that is odoomates@gmail.com. So that's it for the day. Have a nice day. Thank you.